All right, I'm embarrassed. I almost forgot. Well, actually, I did forget, but then I reminded myself quickly. It's time for the weekly tweets and for some Facebook questions as well. Now, I know this is the exciting week of the new iPad, not to promote one company over another. So I'm looking forward to change. Well, I guess I'll still use the iPhone next week, but hopefully I'll have the supplemental iPad to my left. Of course, I didn't necessarily reserve one, so I'm not sure that will be available. We'll see next week. Hey, these are the three quick tweets. This from Jargonnaut says, what innovations is San Francisco adopting to pursue cleaner, more reliable forms of home energy, i.e. gas and electricity? I think many of you know that this city, again, maintains strong leadership in terms of our local global climate action plan to roll back our greenhouse gas emissions about 20% below 1990 levels by 2012. Again, we're already 7% below 1990 levels, and we're here in 2010. I think it's gonna be tough, but we're gonna get very close to that extraordinary stretch goal. And the way we're doing it is, in the context of this question, by doing more with less, meaning providing more energy and stronger and longer utilization of energy sources, but reducing our greenhouse gas emissions because we're using a broader mix of a more renewable portfolio of energy. Let me give you one perfect example. And a lot of folks don't know this. The lights around me right here, in fact, all the city lights you see, the Cobra head lights throughout the city that we operate and manage, all the city buildings, all of our electricity comes from 98% green renewable energy. 98%, not 100%, but just shy of 100%. That's because of our portfolio mix, primarily the hydroelectric energy that comes from the Hetchetchee, that gravity-fed system that comes down and provides the water for 2.5 million people throughout the Bay Area, that 167-mile conveyance system into the Bay. That is one of a number of reasons this city is a leader in terms of environmental stewardship. Others are self-evident. Our solar program, most aggressive solar program in the country, our urban wind strategies, which are now just starting to take shape, our Power Savers program, our energy efficiency programs, even, by the way, taking those Cobra headlights and converting them to LED lights, which is a 2-year process that will be underway in just a couple of months. We're doing more biodiesel and biomass. We talked about taxi cabs last week. Over 50% of all our cabs on alternative fuel, alternative fuels, from be it CNG to hybrids. And how about our bus system? Again, something I don't think people realize. 100% of our public transit buses, muni buses, run either on electricity, which is among the highest portfolio of electricity. Again, where's that electricity come from? Green renewable resources, because it's city power. And the second is on biomass, biodiesel, that grease cycle program, the fats, oils, and grease we pick up, and the biodiesel that we convert in through B20 program, that we've converted a lot of the diesel fleet, or all the diesel fleet. So it's one of the most renewable portfolios, again, of any big city in the country. What we're doing next, specifically to the question in terms of getting into people's homes, are two things. Very controversial, becoming very controversial, and that's working to create a community choice aggregation strategy to allow for a greener mix in terms of a portfolio of energy that people can opt into, or they can opt out to the old system, I should say, as opposed to opt into the new one. This is being proposed by the Public Utilities Commission, and it's going to be forward in the next few weeks, if not month or two, to the city proper, the Board of Supervisors, and to my desk. The final thing is this green financing program, $150+ million. I'll be talking about this, I think, in a week or two. I think we're going to do a Ustream video of this. We're going to be rolling out that green financing program, so you can do all the weatherization, water conservation. You can do energy mix by doing solar and wind and other renewable strategies in your home without writing a check, without going out of pocket for all the upfront costs. It's the most aggressive green financing program of its type in the country, and you basically just take those dollars and will amortize it over the life of your loan on your property. And if you're a renter, we do the same for the landlord. And so this is one very big leap forward in terms of reaching out, or rather reaching these ambitious environmental goals and answering Jargonnaut's appropriate and I think and very enlightened question. This one from CCSFVetAlliance. I like this question, and I'll tell you why I liked it. It says, what steps has the city taken to help returning war veterans find jobs? The reality is we have not done enough, and I want to be the first to say that candidly. And you know what? We need to step it up. We have our Jobs Now program. Remember, if you're unemployed and you if you're unemployed and you have a dependent 18 and younger, you can get a federal subsidy for your wages, and we just have to match you to an employer. If you're an employer and you want that employee, we can match you with an employee. Call 311 for information. That includes veterans, but we haven't done enough, again, to target veterans. We have Veterans Connect we do to target homeless vets and deal with behavioral health issues and substance abuse related issues and housing issues, and I'm really proud of that. We have really led the way in many respects. VASH, some of these vouchers for homeless that we got stimulus money from the feds about, but we haven't done enough on the jobs. And so I want you to know because of this question from Vets Alliance, we're going to be stepping up, and I've been talking to some of my staff, and particularly the head of my human service agency, to start to coordinate an outreach effort that more aggressively targets veterans, again, as opposed to the generic job training and workforce training programs that include veterans. And the work we're doing with Swords to Plowshares and others that obviously, notably, provide resources for veterans, but to do even more. And it's why I like doing what we're doing here. This inspired a much more aggressive focus. So I'll be talking more about that in the upcoming few weeks. And here's the final question, kind of like this. This is from I'm Sick Of, or at I'm Sick Of. It says, tell me what you're personally sick of, just flat out tired of. And go ahead and tweet it to me. Well, this is a version of a tweet. You know, at peril of being accused to be out of touch or naive or not a realist or a pragmatist, let me say what I'm sick of. And let me say this in the context with that preamble, the context of my appreciation for how fearful people are and how worried people are about the future of this city, this state, and this country in terms of the macroeconomic issues and obviously all the related issues that have dominated not just this week's video and budgets, but our consciousness in terms of the state budget crisis and the federal challenges with big debt and deficit spending and financing and the like. And that is this, that it's, I think, time for us to start focusing on what's right with our city, this state, and this country. You know, I've always believed you're nothing but a mirror of your consistent thoughts. You tend to manifest what you focus on in your personal life and your professional life. And it's really true. If you know people that are always focused on something that's wrong, they tend to only find what's wrong. And then there's some remarkable people that are always focused on things that are right, and a lot of good things tend to come their way because they're sort of encouraging it because of that frame of reference. And I candidly am sort of sick and tired of the pessimists out there. Those that just say, it's over, you know, the best days are behind us. I don't buy that at all. I certainly don't buy it in this city, San Francisco, quite the contrary, nor do I buy it in the state of California and this country. And so that's candidly what I'm sick of. You know, we should be so blessed to be here in one of the most diverse cities and one of the most diverse regions and the most diverse state, New York State and California, in the most diverse democracy, America. And you know what? By and large, you've traveled the rest of the world where people are being torn apart because of racial, religious, and ethnic controversies that by definition have fueled fanaticism, fueled terror, fueled misunderstanding and negativity. By and large, we're living together and advancing together fairly well across every conceivable and imaginable difference. We're not perfect, that's self-evident, I get that. But I've said this, and I really believe this in my core. What makes San Francisco a special place, what at our best makes California a special place, and our country, is our ability not just to tolerate diversity, but to truly celebrate it and start uniting around the things that bind us together. That common humanity, that web of mutuality that Dr. King talked so eloquently about. And so pessimism, I'm kind of sick and tired of that. It's too easy, it's too convenient. I'm for the folks that are finding some bright lights and some ember of optimism, and you can find it everywhere. Even in our darkest moments, there's always something that you can find that's redeeming and that's that provides a framework of renewal and hope. And so that's my clarion call here on Good Friday, right before Easter, in the spirit of our times. Let's celebrate what's right. And I think we'll find as we turn the corner here, and we are, that a lot of good things are heading our way. And I look forward to being part of that dialogue and discussion, and being part of that renewal and rebirth of the values and the dream that I think we all share as San Franciscans, as Californians, and as Americans. Happy Easter, everybody.